Hello and welcome to part 14 of our Songs of Syx playthrough in the great city of Foremenlore. So, in the previous episode we're going through a little bit of a baby boom with our population massively increasing. You can see here that we have a lot of people who are currently not working. We only have a workforce of our plebeians of 616, but we have 684 people in here, which is fantastic. That's a whole 51 people. We've obviously got the 14 slaves as well, but the fact we've got the 51 children, beautiful. Now, one thing we may have to have a little look at before we start is our retirement age. Currently for humans it's set at nothing, so some people must be retired. We're currently having it at 0%, so I imagine it's probably just our noble who's retired. Just wanted to double check that before we go forward. We don't want to have anybody actually retired at the moment. We just want them to be working, of course. Now, as it comes for our various schools, we've obviously got indoctrination. The main ones that really matters for is the Crotonians and obviously the humans, because we want them to work a little bit better. Okay, I think with that done, we can continue going. Having a look at our resources, we're doing all right for resources. We've got a lot of fabric, which is good. We've been needing that to build up our nurseries, which we can see here are working away quite nicely. We have a lot of rations, which is good, but they seem to be the only ones that we have. So we do need to really think about increasing our food supply even more than we have already. Now, in order to do that, we might just build another fishery over here. There's a small amount of fish here that we can grab, so we can get a small amount of workers here. Even just something like that, I think should be okay. It doesn't produce much, but it then also means that we can have some pumps as well if we want to. Otherwise, we can just rely on this area over here for pumps for our larger farms and have this more as a fishery. But equally, we could also build a fishery over here. This place does have quite a lot of good bits, so yeah, I'm going to go completely back on what I just said there, because we can get a very nice fishery here. It's going to require 17 fishermen, which is quite a lot. We can probably actually just whittle down the shape a little bit, just so it's a little bit more even. We don't need all of this land here, because we can just have some more farms here or something else like that. Probably some more like some storage or some houses for the fishermen. Put some storages here. We'll get our auxiliaries. There we go. Perfect. This should have a good production. We haven't even upgraded it yet. Probably actually rivals. Oh, protection. Meanwhile, Kern Dark Squall represent the Green Mist Crusaders. We have come far away in order to help you out. Maybe you haven't heard, but their bandits are out there. Okay, we still don't have a military, which is a little bit of a shame this late in the game. But they are asking for goods in order to effectively not raid us. Okay. Our scouts report these people have a small force. Playing some safe bet, declining might lead to trouble. I think we will just pay. Not too much. We lose a bit of our rations. We lose a bit of our nice stuff. I think we pay up for now. And then we go and deal with these guys later on. Yeah, sounds good. We'll construct this fishery as well. People get to work on that in a little bit. And we'll just continue going. So, yeah, what we're going to do today, we're going to try and get up our numbers of people. Again, we're just basically waiting for all of these babies to grow up so we can use them in our workforce. Once they are all grown up, we'll have more than enough people to deal with the amount of laborers that we require. So I'm not feeling too bad about that. Doing pretty well on technology as well, bearing in mind that we did actually produce another laboratory too, and that is already upgraded, which is really, really nice. So fingers crossed we have enough people to just get that done. Nobility pass. Oh, our university headmaster's passed today. Oh no. Such a shame. Okay, Mr. Janitor, congratulations. You are now our university headmaster. Congratulations. Rakeskin, who we will probably rename by the time the next episode comes out. So, if you want to be any part of our nobility, remember to leave it in the comments. We'll get you put on. Okay, this food stall over here is currently being used quite a lot, which is unsurprising given how many people are here. So let's actually think about building... okay, threat over. Punishments waits. No, sorry, forgive twisted sense of humor. It's all there. They have our thanks. We should meet again. Goodbye. Yeah, the Amevias are pretty scary in terms of combat. They're very, very strong, so we don't really want to mess with them. So that's good for now. Let's have a little look at the stall. We'll get a nice big market stall, I think. Just something like this. There we go. Perfect. Nice big market stall. People can come there. Can we get it if we reduce this down? I always forget. Yes, we can. So let's just remove all that. Nice big market stall for the food. And that'll mean it does take a lot of employees, but I'll have a much more services than any of the other ones, and we'll just construct that there. if we are having issues getting things to here, and we can see that we are over here. We're also having a little bit of our coverage that's being lost kind of in the middle here. We could always build some smaller ones that just kind of like go through here. There shouldn't really be any need for it, or so we hope. Massively require more of our workers again. Have we finished the clay pit? Indeed we have, but that's good. We've managed to complete the clay pit, which means that we're going to be sourcing our own clay from now on. We don't need to import it quite as much, because we should just be getting it as it stands. We're not getting it here. We'll probably have to build another warehouse over here, but we can do that in some time. Our food stocks are going down ever so slightly, which is a little bit worrying to me, but fingers crossed we'll be okay. Yep, we've got our upgrade here, where there's a little bit of degradation over here, so we probably need to build another janitor over here as well. God, you never actually get any time to think, do you? So let's copy this janitor over here, and what we'll do, we'll make sure as well that we're building this out of stone. And we'll actually just build another janitor over here, kind of by the roads. Yep, something like that. That sounds good. That sounds good to me. And how are we doing otherwise? Yeah, these fruit farms doing alright. These ones as well. We should hopefully be getting a harvest in soon. We're keeping up on our number of vegetables we need and the number of fruit that we need. It's more that we're just no longer able to feed everybody just with fish, or at least from our warehouse stockpiles. There'll still be lots of food coming into our market stalls, which is great, and we still have our hunters here working away. Good stuff. There's no degradation over here, which is good. Want to make sure that's the case. Yep, no degradation over here, so our janitors are able to get over this bit okay. It's just over here with the fisheries where we have to worry a little bit. Now we could also think about building out another warehouse over there. That's also an option. We're clearing out this Globdian pasture to make some more food, get some more eggs as well, because we don't currently have eggs and people do quite like eggs, so getting more of it is always a good thing. Overall, things are going a-okay. Our law, how's our law doing? It's not doing too great, but I think that's because we're not getting the best coverage for our guard posts. You can see that, yeah, certainly over here on the fisheries and over here on the fields, we're not getting the best coverage in terms of law. Definitely the same over here by our hunters posts here. So what could we do about that? We could think about getting out some more guard posts over here just to cover everything. We don't have the stone for that at the moment, but I think having a little guard post just here gives us a good coverage. We'll be able to use the stone when we get it. We're still currently using it on our very, very, very large restaurant. We have completed our hospital as well, so we're using up all of the opium that we have. I think that's us pretty much out of it. Not quite, but getting close. But that should hopefully mean that people are a little bit happier. They're having additional services. If we have a little look at our humans, we can see that when it comes to hospitals, they do quite like having hospitals. Not that much. It's not as much as, say, lavatories or markets or wells even for that matter. But just having it is very nice. They are also quite liking the fighting pits. Once we have this restaurant open, they'll quite like that as well. And that should be good to go. As far as our grain stocks go, they are a little bit low, but we can maybe do something about that. I think it might be time just to get some beer. We have unlocked breweries. We could get brewery specialization. And we haven't got the upgrades yet. So yeah, I think we actually just build a brewery. Yeah, let's get brewery specialization as well. We have the knowledge. We want to make sure people are getting happier. And I'll make sure as well that I haven't... Oh no, I have already built brewery. Fantastic. Good stuff. So we need to build a tavern as well. People are just kind of drinking it as they are. Because they don't have a tavern to go to just yet. So we need to build ourselves a little tavern. Now the question is, where do we want the tavern to go? Probably kind of central to this kind of area here. Could I even put it next to this guardhouse? I think that would look quite nice. So yeah, let's do that. We still have to unlock the tavern, so let's actually just research that just now. And what we can do is we can set it so that people can't drink anything except at the tavern itself. There we go. Perfect. So yes, let's do that. So if we go for a tavern here, we can build a nice one. We'll build it just out of stone. This one doesn't need to be grand stone. It's a little bit too much for our restaurant. We will probably upgrade it to be grand stone in the future, but for now, it's okay. Expand it on out so it's covering around this guard post. We could even have, for easy access for the guards, we'll have a couple of doors in there. That's always funny. And we can have a couple of things like that. So let's make sure as well that we get our pillars up just to cover up inside the room here. Not quite enough to do everything, but we'll just do that just so it looks nice. Let's get some tables out. kind of along the edge here, so we can get plenty of people serviced inside here. And then we'll get one not reachable there, unfortunate, but we can get some tables in between here. Good amount of services there, get some knickknacks for some coziness. There we go, let's just get that in the middle there. A presto. And we'll get another one here as well. Boom. There we go. Perfect. 100% coziness, a lot of services. We could add more in more tables should we want to as well, which might not be the worst shout in the world that I've ever had. The real question is, where can we fit them in? So it'd be here and up over here. So it's lost a little bit of coziness, but we can just put down a small little bit of our carpets here, just kind of over the doors. Something for people to wipe their feet on. There we go. Perfect. 100% coziness. We have the furniture. We have everything we need to construct this. Let's get that going. And we can say, right, this is where you guys are going to get your beer. And that'll also help with the services as well. Alright, let's have a little look at our population. Our population is going up. We can see it very, very slowly going up. A little bit of that would be through our immigration as well. We are getting more of these elves coming in after all, which is always nice. And here we are, we're just constructing that tavern, clearing it out. We've got the stone that we need to get that built, so we'll get that built when we can. How are we doing over here for the restaurant? We're still slowly but surely getting up the required masonry stuff that we need. Still got 6 people working on that. We could increase that. Let's actually increase that for the full 9, because we do need that polished stone. It's a good export to have as well. Good for keeping our money. And we can get the tavern done. Once we get the tavern done, we'll cut people's drink allowance, so they're not allowed to drink. They have to get the drinks inside the tavern. And that should mean that we're able to get a little bit of a stockpile of ale as well. Piva. Piva prosim. So let's make sure as well that we are definitely storing Piva, that we're definitely storing this as well. Good stuff. How are we doing over here at the brewer? Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, so we could change this to produce, well, we can't do it just now because we need fruit. But I think we're quite happy with just producing the Piva at the moment. People can have that in the skull, and they'll have a really nice time, which is always nice. It's always nice when people have a nice time. Having a look over here, our water pumps, is everything upgraded? It does look like it, so we're not having to use so many workers, which is good. Our fruit orchard is still progressing, which is nice. We probably want to think about getting another pump, probably over here, just so we can increase the amount of water that is getting around, although we're kind of getting at a nice point. Fertility overall is pretty good. It's going to be a while until the next tree is ready, which is unfortunate, but hey-ho, we can deal with that. As far as our resources go, we're still a little bit down on our amount of charcoal that we have. We've currently got all of our charcoal makers, except for the ones that we obviously just don't have enough people for. Ah, and here we go. The tavern is complete. Fantastic. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go into here, we're going to access, we're going to say that people, they're at the lowest possible drink that they can get. And that should be fine. So now they can just go to the tavern, they should be able to load on up, and it should also make it so that people in their services, when it comes to taverns, people like taverns. Crotonians really like taverns, the Dundorians kind of like taverns, the humans kind of like taverns. If the Crotonians can get taverns, they will adore it. So good stuff, good stuff. Right, how are we doing over here? Yeah, we're doing alright. These longhouses are looking alright. We've got enough houses over here that we don't really need to worry about it. Because we're getting kind of like multi-racial places, these longhouses are no longer probably the most efficient things in the world, but it's fine. Making a good bit of clay. We should be kind of sticking up to our import limit. Not that much per day, it's only 11. But we can add in more workers if we need to, so we don't need to worry about that. When it comes to this bakery over here, we have insufficient coal of all things, so we need to have a little think about our charcoalers and probably even think about starting to work our way up here to mine this coal up here. If we mine the coal up here, if we can really get our metal industry on the go, we have a lot of tools available as well. That's the other thing. Okay, let's have a little think about that. This brewer here, right, you guys are going to get some tools. There we go, perfect. You guys have already got your maximum number of tools. Do we need another charcoaler, or do we just go straight for mining? We don't really have the people to have a mine be particularly efficient, but I mean, this charcoaler is making a lot of coal, but we are struggling to get it all out and on the way. Let's actually make sure this fruit orchard here has all the tools we need. We want to make sure this is efficient as possible for when we start to get fruit from it. Probably actually just give all of our farmers of all the various types, maybe not so much our cotton, but certainly our vegetables, let's just give them as many tools as we can, especially our fruit farms. This should hopefully increase our food production by quite a lot. Are we giving tools out to our hunters as the other option? Yep, let's give them out. There we go. We'll burn through our entire stockpile of tools just to make sure that we have enough tools for everybody. These hunters should now be producing a lot of meat with all of those tools that we've added in. For our fisheries, we've already got the max, which is good. That's exactly what we need. And what else? We've got our woodcutters with the maximum amount we could. We've already given the max amount to our ores. The metal smelter. The smithy we could give more, but I think we're alright for the number of tools that we currently have. Weavers we could give some to, but nah, I'm not too worried about it. Let's actually give some tools out to our masonries. We'll just completely burn through that. That should mean that we produce far more like nice stone than before. And actually, speaking of nice things, let's make sure that we road this up as well. Get a nice paved road over to the tavern. People will really like that. They can walk a little bit faster. And should anybody, you know, do anything naughty, then the guards are right there to pull them out. As you would hope. Alright, how are we doing over here? Graveyard doing alright. Pretty full, but not too bad. Brewery working away. Just needs its pots, which we should have in abundance. We currently don't have very much, which is a little bit worrying. Where is our potter? Over here. So we've got our full pottery going. We're just making our clay. Stuff out of clay. We should be making 45 per day, but I wonder... Our ration maker isn't using any of them just now. He's just using the herbs. Herbs we still have quite a lot of, and we're using a lot of fish as well, but we do have a good amount of rations. We are lowering down slightly on our number of food days, which is a little bit worrying, but I think that's just because we've had a harvest. And we're currently at the start of summer, so that's probably why. We're kind of at the bit where we've nearly gone the longest throughout without a harvest, so it kind of makes sense that we'd be having issue. We can't upgrade this hearth yet because we're still missing the stone, but we should have this restaurant done. That is going to need more coal, is the only thing. Okay, yeah, I think the game is trying to get my hand done. I think we will have to dig into this mountain here. Let's just clear this out. So we've got some Slithian ore, which is really nice. We've got some coal over here as well. So, and unfortunately this coal seam kind of goes into the Slithian as well, so that's going to be a bit of an issue when it comes to actually making it, but that's fine. We can get around that. How are we doing over here at this food stall? So, doing pretty well. It would be nice to upgrade this, but we don't have the pottery for it because it's going to be used for making our alcohol. How are we doing over here? People are just a little bit struggling getting the booze in, but fingers crossed we can get that done soon. What we could do is we could say, right, you guys, so they're only getting the one thing of drink rations. We say, right, you guys just don't drink as part of your rations, like so. So they won't get anything from their drink rations, which is a little bit of a shame, but they should still get something from the tavern. It should mean that our actual, like, drinks go over here as well. Because you usually find that you struggle to get enough drinks. Drinks take, you know, they take pottery, they take grain, they take coal. Coal can be a 1 or 2 step process. Pottery is at least a 2-step process because you need to get the clay, then you need to make the jugs. And then grain, obviously, you just either need to import it or you have to have the farms for it. Okay, but that's good. We're starting to see that it's got a lot of load. We should hopefully have people coming over to serve this when they can. Be interesting to see where the sort of brewery is going and what's kind of holding it back. I think it probably is the pottery, because it seems to me like they've got some coal there. We'll have to see. Okay, charcoaler. Do we upgrade the charcoaler? We do have the metal for it. We don't have the workers. We are digging through that mountain, but we need something in the meantime. All right, let's actually just redo this charcoaler just a little bit. So we'll expand it on out this way, like so. We'll make sure to get in a couple of pillars. We're going to have one of our auxiliary kilns here up the side. Maybe this one here as well. Good stuff. And then we will add in another kiln too over here. And if I put one here, still 100% efficiency, which is good. And it should produce even more. Number of employees does go up, but That is fine. I think that should be good enough for that. We have enough clay. We have enough stone. We have enough metal bars. We do not have enough wood. Yeah, that's fine. Just do that as a matter of priority, please, people, and just fell down these trees here for the wood that we need locally. There we go. Get to work. Get it going. Make it happening. And so we'll have a little bit of a supply breakdown here because we're no longer turning our grain into booze, into bread. We're no longer making our tools. We're no longer making our metal bars. We have managed to complete, in terms of the restaurant, the number of stone that we need, which is good. Let's actually give out a couple of tools to our potteries. We'll just give all 8. We really want to ramp up this production, especially now that we're starting to get more clay. So we need stone. You should have access to stone. Yep. There we go. No longer complaining about that. Going to say we have a lot of stone in the city. You should be absolutely fine. And in terms of the wood, we're cutting down all these trees, so that shouldn't be an issue either. As far as the clay goes, we've got 92. We've got enough metal, so we just need this done as soon as possible, please. And would you look at that, because we're no longer using all the charcoalers, we basically have solved our labour issues. So there you go. Shutdowns are good for government. Who could have guessed? As far as pottery goes, we're still using a lot of it for our restaurant. Once our restaurant is done, that should hopefully be a little bit better. How are we doing over here? There's no services available. That's because people are just coming over here to grab drink. Yeah, so this is cover. This is actually a good, pretty good cover. We are getting drinks here as well, so people are getting in on it, which is nice. We probably should think about getting rid of this hunter because it's kind of a little bit old, but hey ho. As far as our stockpiles are going, we're actually doing alright for fish. How are we doing over here? We're clearing a little bit of it, but we're not getting many people walking over. Makes sense because it is quite far away. Still clearing this out. We just need more people to work over here, please. Thank you very much. Yeah, look at that. A lot of the children are growing up, which is great. We have a little look at our population. Yeah, you can see a lot of those kids have grown up, so then we'll start getting them back as babies. Should actually make people a little bit more happy because we can see the whole number of immigrants has gone down, the number of natives has gone up, which is always nice. And it should mean that people are a little bit happier when it comes to immigrating and getting more people that way as well. We could think about getting some Amavias potentially just for working our fisheries if we built their own little segregated place. But they do need a lot of pumps to keep happy because they do like their little water paradises, and as it stands, our entire map is pretty barrenish, except for this one river. This one river has been very useful in terms of our map, just to keep things going. Mevia is obviously very, very good at working in the fisheries. Here we go, charcoal are done. Let's max that out, 28. Still a little bit of a labour shortage, but certainly not too bad. And we should start to see the number of coal that we are producing skyrocket. Obviously the amount of wood that we're producing, not so great. In order to get that, we'll need to get machinery. Machinery, very, very costly in terms of research and all that jazz. So, not usually my favourite thing to get early, to be honest. Can be good if you can manage it, but if you can't, not so great. Nearly done with our restaurant as well. Our tavern's coming up. We should start to see our coal stockpiles starting to go up ever so slightly now as well. I mean, not while they're being used by everything else. Literally, as soon as they're being made, they'll probably get chucked away into another place. But we should be okay in terms of our coal. That's going to produce a lot of coal a day. And that's kind of the hope. We could set them even to work overtime, but I'm not 100% sure that's required. Wonder if we do actually just say, hey, you see these trees over here, just chop these down. People, when you get a bit of spare time, just chop these trees down. We do need to get the wood stockpiles back up. The woodcutters are doing their best, but they're not producing the most. Also not a big fan of how many Crotonians are working in here. I prefer Dendorians or humans to be working in there. But beggars can't be choosers. At the end of the day. Still building up this fishery, that's fine. We've got this janitor working over here. He should get rid of all the degradation. We should be getting more fish because of that, which is great. Having a little look over here, we've got no degradation over here, and we shouldn't have any over here either. Still some unavailable livestock. We're still working on completing this Globulian pasture. They are going to give us a couple of Glatharmy slaves and a lot of money. Yeah, sure, I like you guys. These guys have been very, very helpful because of our friendship pact. They like us a lot. They've been helping us out a lot as well. Getting that much money is going to be great for our imports. It's going to make sure that we have enough vegetables and fruit to keep going. And if we get a slave guy coming around soon, that'd be pretty good. Just get some more slaves. I certainly wouldn't mind some more slaves just to keep working on the fields. But no, things are going pretty well. Our food stocks are okay. We've got a lot of grain actually, which is good. I imagine that's because we are using up a lot of our coal for our bakery, which is fine. Yeah, we can see we're still struggling a little bit when it comes to the coal, even though we're making 174. How are we doing up over here, guys? Still not doing that. Okay, let's get a workstation down just so people start to work that. We can upgrade the radius on that. Okay, that's a pretty poor place for a workstation. Let's actually put that inside the mountain so people actually come and work inside the mountain. Thank you. There we go. Yep, there's a path inside there, so we'll get probably about 10 people to go there. And we should start to see them digging into that mountain. We can build a coal mine there, and we can build a little mining kind of outpost up there as well. And that should be good. But no, overall, I think things are going okay. We certainly have a lot of rations. We have a fair amount of leather armor, which is great. Got our guard post finished as well, fantastic. Yeah, we have a lot of leather armor. We don't really have any weapons. We have the falcatas that we got a while ago, but we could probably start to do with making our own falcatas as well. So let's have a little bit of a look in here for the military. Where about would weapons be? Would they be all the way down here? Crafting? Yep, here we go. Weaponsmithing. So we can make falcatas there. And we can make plate armor as well. We're doing alright for our metal bits. We'll get falcatas. Just the knowledge to do it be always good. We could reduce the hunger of our people. That'd be very nice. We can get pleasure as well. For our massage parlor. Let's not think about that. What else could we get instead? So right now we've got walls we could also think about making. We've got drilling to increase our soldiers' morales. We need to build training grounds. We'll need to get things together. We haven't yet unlocked a court. A court could be an idea to make people a little bit happier. We don't... Well, we do have the research for that, but that'd be 100% of our research just done on that, which... I mean, could be good. Probably isn't. Let's have another little think about what we could do. We could get barbers, effectively, for 2,000. We have unlocked it, but we need to get our tourism as well. No point really going tourism in my mind just yet. We could also get machinery. That does cost 2,000. That's a lot. Decisions. We could get makeshift weapons for some Warhammer for our carpenters. Yeah, we could do that. I mean, or we could just make weapons. We can always just sell the weapons. Yeah, we'll unlock it just so we can. You know what? We'll also unlock the bower as well. It's fairly cheap. And we don't need to worry about refined carpentry. We're doing alright for furniture as it stands. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to make weapons. So for that, we're going to need a smithy. We'll take coal. We'll take iron. I guess that's the only thing is that we'll take iron. Whereas if we got a carpenter, another one, we could make stone and wood into makeshift weapons, which is, I feel like that's probably a better shout at this point, to be honest. We're kind of struggling just a little bit in terms of our coal, and I'd rather keep it for our food supplies if we can. So let's build that there, build that there. Let's make sure as well this is a stone building. So let's put that there and there. Let's get the workbenches down. There. That does cover up the doorway, so we'll put that there. Just a little small carpenter's workplace. We've got our storage, we've got our benches. Let's make sure we get as much productivity as we can. That'd be great. There we go. Perfect. Okay, let's get that built. And here we can just build up some makeshift weapons. We'll make sure that we're storing that as well, and we can use that to outfit our militia along with our leather armor. Now, what else do we need to think about our military? So we're going to need a training ground. It's going to have a little bit of an accident rate, but that's fine. Where are we going to build a training ground? Maybe over here, kind of in the split over here between the farmland and the pastures. I think that should be okay. We're going to build this as a rather big building, and we'll obviously improve the inside look with a couple of pillars. How big does it need to be to start with is the question. So over here we can build a nice training area here. We can get a long one over here and here. Capacity for 24. It's pretty good training capacity, but that could be better. So let's actually just make that a little bit bigger. Is this maybe a bit too big? Probably. But I think that's probably good. I mean, 41, it's not quite enough for like a full squad of 50 at a time, but it should keep them up to scratch. And to be fair, we could always just put another training dummy out over here. And that would give us a capacity of 47. I mean, at that point, you're almost wondering, what's the point? Why didn't I just make it full? There we go, full 50. Perfect. It's going to cost a lot of stone to build, but that's fine. Get this trading ground done, and we can start to work on our military. Let's have a look at our conscript. So, as it stands, we're going to just disband a couple of these divisions. We don't need all of these guys here. Let's just think about our first 50 for just now. So, what do we have here? Division number 1 Foremenlore's finest. There we go. Perfect. Foremenlore's finest. It's going to be humans. 50 of them. We do want to give them leather armor. There's going to be a lot of leather armor. Maybe not quite that much. Let's give them 100 leather armor. And we're going to give them just some makeshift warhammers. There we go. And we probably don't actually have to give... I mean, yeah, that means they're kind of doubling up. And we do want them to train a little bit. 50%. They're going to be pretty good. They're going to have decent-ish morale. Decent-ish stamina. And they're going to do an okay amount of damage. Not great. Way down a little bit. They're going to have pretty decent offense skill. And decent enough force. They're going to have pretty good hit points. Pretty good defense skill. Decent pierce and slashing armor. Yeah, I think that's probably a good thing to that. Yeah, I did save. Oh, no, except for the actual allocations. I mean, we could train these guys all the way up to the top. Will take them a long time to train up to that way. Yeah, you can see here the amount of days it'll take to train them to get to that point. Let's just stick to 30%. We'll give them decent enough gear. Yeah, let's do that. So, when the training is done, we'll have a certain amount of our people who will go away to start training as part of this. Fortunately, we've got enough room for all of them. They'll also start to pick up some of our goods, so like our leather armor, etc. We can also even potentially think about building up some more homes here, which I don't think is a bad idea. We can have almost like a sort of military area over here, like sort of barracks area. So let's do that. Accident has occurred. Thank goodness we have a hospital. Let's bring these down to houses so we can fit this in nicely, like so. And we can have a nice little kind of road going down there, and we can have a little market stall for our fantastic guys who keep us safe. There we go. Perfect. So what do we need over here? We're going to need a lavatory. So let's copy that on over. Like so. We're going to need at least a food stall. So let's get that. It should also help us a little bit with our, what's it called? Allowing things to be hit as well, which is always good. Let's copy over this hearth as well so people can warm on up. Where are we going to put that? Yeah, we can put that there. That's fine. And then we also need a well. Like so. Perfect. So we've got ourselves a food stall, we've got ourselves, we haven't got a market stall yet, that's just a food stall. Where's a market stall? Over here. Let's copy that on over, we can put that over here as well. Good stuff. What are we waiting for over here? We're waiting for a little bit of stone, which we don't have very much of, so let's actually think about clearing out some more rock. There's not much rock to be cleared around here, we have already pretty much cleared out this entire area of rock. Which is not fantastic. It does mean we'll have to go a little bit further away. How are we doing up here? Still clearing out this mountain, but that's fine. We'll get there eventually. Let's start thinking about our mines. So we want our coal mine. So we'll have it here, kind of stretching out over into the coal that kind of intercepts with the Smithsonian. There we go. How are we doing? We're doing pretty well actually in terms of the amounts that we have. Yep, we'll bring that down. We'll make sure that's covering absolutely every single bit of coal that it can. At least as part of this mine, and then we will also expand on out a little bit over here, just so we have room for activities. And by activities, I obviously mean the auxiliary bits over here, because we're going to need a lot of them for the amount of workers that it's going to take make this efficient. So we will have to expand this out ever so slightly. We haven't even built a storage yet. We're already kind of running out of space. 93%, so we can probably actually just expand this out, probably down the way over here. Yeah, like so, and then over this way just ever so slightly, so we're not quite getting over the Smithsonian ore. So let's get another one there. There we go, fully efficient. And we can build a storage there as well. Perfect. So that's going to take 76 workers, pretty good deposits, 100% efficiency. We'll produce a lot of coal, just about as much as our charcoal does now, but double the workers, but doesn't require any wood for that, so that's good. That means that we have actually got this coal miner up and running. We've got our other fishery over here that we need to worry about as well, but we can worry about that another time. Okay, so yeah, I think overall things are working pretty well. We're getting a decent-ish amount of coal coming out. Our food stocks are kind of staying steady thanks to our rations. Pottery's doing all right. Masonry's doing okay. Yeah, we're actually getting a decent stockpile of the stone. We got our restaurant who is working. We don't have any available services, but that's because everybody in this restaurant is busy working away. We have a little look at our services. We can see that our number of restaurants is going up ever so slightly, which is good. People are, in fact, our Crotonians are really enjoying these restaurants. We should start to see more immigrants, and indeed we are. Perfect, that's what we want. They're getting a decent amount of stuff in the tavern, so even though we've sat there and said you guys can actually drink, they are still able to drink inside the tavern itself, which given our current production of drink is the only place they'd really be able to get it anyway. We've got a little bit too much furniture. That's fine, we can start giving that out. Let's start giving out some furniture. A little bit of a trap. We're going to be giving out a lot of furniture, but I think it's worth it. Just keep people happy, keep the access up. We could sell it. We could sell it for some more money, but you know, it's all good. In fact, probably something we should do is, I mean, our pottery we're doing okay at, but we are now actually using it for something. So let's actually just start exporting some of our furniture again. We'll give our furniture out to our people just to make them happy, or specifically our humans. Start exporting it again, and we should be a-okay. Overall, yeah, things have gone pretty well. People got hot meals now in this lovely tavern, surrounded by grand walls. Looks absolutely great. Just don't have very much food to serve in it, unfortunately. But we should have enough fruit and vegetables to be used in the future. How are you guys doing over here? Yeah, we got plenty of children over here. Yep. No babies, so we should be hopefully get another population boom in a minute. Why have we suddenly lost so many workers? Because we need a lot. Ah, it's because all these guys start to train. So here we go, our training ground is done. Could upgrade it with a whole bunch of stuff, but we will not. How is our military doing? We just got the one because we got rid of a lot of it, but we have a whole 50 people here. They're training away. It's all good. Yeah, we're gonna struggle a little bit in terms of our numbers of people. Which is a little bit of a shame, but I'm sure we'll get around that somehow. A decent number of food still going. Our coal mine's still up. How is our fishery over here doing? Still getting built. It'll get done eventually. Our pasture over here is doing all right. Let's automatically assign it. And you know what? We'll actually give it some tools as well. We got a little bit of tools. Just so we can start bringing in some eggs. Eggs will at least give us another bit of food. Ah, perfect. Slavers come. We have no money. That's annoying. We can't even afford these Arthemies because we spent all. That is a shame. I do wish we had some money to get some extra people in. We obviously need the workers, as you can see. But we're training up our militia. They're not going to be particularly effective fighters. They're just going to have warhammers. Not the greatest, not the best, but hey, they get the job done. Speaking of that, we probably should actually make sure as well that we have our carpenter wherever I put it. Where did I put it again? I have lost it. That's fine, we can find it. So if I have a little look at our carpenter, so we have our carpenter over here. Yeah, so you will change your recipe from furniture to making warhammers. We could also start making shields as well, which could actually be a pretty good idea. And that's probably one of the reasons why our furniture went up so much. I just forgot to turn that over. We're going to be producing an awful lot of warhammers actually, which we could start to use for exports too. Probably do that rather than the furniture. Yeah, let's start doing that. Let's make sure that you are pulling from somewhere else. Let's make sure I do that right as well. That'd be very, very helpful. So Let's just remove that pull source. Who do we want to pull from? Probably just this main one here. There you go. And you want to make sure that we have over 25, because we want to make sure that our soldiers have their warhammers. We'll see how our furniture goes. If it drops too far, then we will obviously change around our exports and the amount of stuff that we're giving out to our people. But overall, people are very happy, where our population is still continuing to climb. We've got our militia, who are currently training up to be our savior should these bandits come back around. We don't want to pay our hard-earned money, our hard-earned work to them ever again. Coal's still looking a little bit used. Let's have a little look at the current graph. So it's estimated that we're making only around about 10. I guess it's because we're kind of running out of wood is the thing. So let's just chop down some more trees for just now. Fortunately, these wood makers just really aren't particularly efficient until you get the upgrade on it and you get a lot of people on it. But once you get a lot of people on it, you get the upgrade on it, they can produce a lot of wood. You can see here that's making 146. I mean, yeah, it's not a lot. We need a lot more wood than this, but we just don't really have the workers for it as of just now. But that's fine. We'll get there eventually. This coal mine's going to take more workers, but we don't need the full thing going. We've still got our clay diggers. We're getting a little bit of clay coming out from that, so it's lessening the amount that we're needing to pay for it, which is good. I mean, we could even think about getting some upgrades as well. I mean, you can get like your husbandry upgrades. Potentially just getting a normal husbandry upgrade that costs 50, just so we get a little bit more out of our husbandry farms here. Could be a good shout. Could think about getting medicine as well. Costs a little bit, but does quite a lot for us. Otherwise, we can think about getting an advanced laboratory, which will require mechanisms as well. 2,000 to make, something to keep in mind for the future. We'll just see how we go. But yeah, overall, we started pretty well. We had all of our kids grow up, which is great. We're now just slightly running out of people because we're expanding out our workforce quite a bit. We've got our big pasture over here done with our Globdian. All done. How are we doing over here in the Onyx? Good, good. Indolence, we're doing good over here. Producing a lot of meat over here, which is great. Our fishery over here slowly getting completed. We're creating our mine over here. We just need furniture for that, which we're kind of burning through, but that's fine. Smithy's doing quite well. Our metal smelters are finally working to perfection. Let's get an upgrade on that. And we can actually even probably just increase the number of people in our smithy, just to make sure we have enough tools being produced. Now that we have the metal bars required, let's also make sure that we have our hearth upgraded, because we were needing to do that earlier. Fantastic. That should increase the amount of services people are getting. Let's do that over here as well. How are we doing over here? Bing bang bosh. We do need to get machinery at some point just so we can upgrade our wells to level 2 as well, so that's something to think about. Let's have a little look at our army. So currently we've got our 49 soldiers doing pretty well. Still currently training at 6% melee training out of the 30 that we want. We've got 49 of our troops are deployable, and we've got a recruit as well. We got one person fully trained. Yeah, so they're still all training up. That's fine. We'll get around to it. We could upgrade this here if we wanted to spend all of that metal to increase the training speed, but we will not bother. Yeah, as it stands, things are going pretty well. Should we get bandits back again? Our troops are fairly lightly armed, but they should be all right. Let's actually have a little look at the crafting menu. So currently we have makeshift weapons. We could also make some shields as well. I think making some shields would be good. We could get an archer range as well, but I think we probably want to save that for a second squad. We have unlocked making bows, so we could make some more bows for people to use, because bows are actually surprisingly good, especially against guys without very little armor. Think of something like mana lords where you just crush people like that. Okay, let's get another one of these carpenters. We'll swing that on around. There we go. That's looking good. And yeah, we can just get another one of these just here. We'll build out the road a little bit, and we can use this to just make us some more of our shields. Probably actually would be a good shout. Get shields, we can start supplying that to our troops. It should make them a little bit hardier in battle as well. And then after that, we've got to have a little think about what we want to do. As we stand, we have got these free lands over here with all these Andorians. There's not many of them. We don't know how many troops they have. Certainly coming over here, conquering this area with these Andorians could be an idea. Kennis is certainly much more, they have much more people there. I mean, and if you look at things like Universum, the Ducofrenian, Lazistan, Hogland, all of which are connected to Kennis. As soon as we get Kennis, we get so many more trading partners that we can potentially trade with, which would be fantastic, and it kind of really opens us up to the rest of the outside world. But certainly having a little look at High Courage could be an idea. I think, yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a think of getting that. It looks like they've got a lot of stone there, so we can get some stone in. Not sure how good it is in terms of growing. It's alright fertility, 51%. Not the greatest, not the best. Where somewhere like, say, Kennis is quite fertile. There's a lot of forests there. Be a very good place to grow crops in and import things like our grain, etc. from. But we're maybe getting ahead of us ourselves. Let's count our militia before we send them off to war. Always probably a good idea. How you guys doing over here? Yeah, you're fine. Let's reduce the number of people down over here. Alright, but with that, we're managing to get our army somewhat in place. We're managing to increase our population, become a little bit more stable. We're having a little bit of bust and booms. Our raw resources are out. But the great city of Foremenlore is driving ahead with its message. And I think with that, we'll call this episode here today. So thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, consider joining on YouTube or becoming a Patreon, or supporting me on Coffee if you like what we do on the channel. And obviously it gives you extra benefits like being able to save videos as soon as they're uploaded rather than when they're released. But I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Obviously, if you want to be of one of our nobles as well, leave a comment down below and we'll get round to it. Anyway, thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.